The paranormal, UFOs, extraterrestrials, conspiracy theories. Sit down, buckle up, hold on tight. You're about to listen to Out of the Box Podcast with hosts Jim Andre and co-host Bradley Powers from Esoteric Hours. And this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's get ready to rumble. Here we are on Out of the Box Podcast. I'm your host, Jim Andre, and my co-host, Bradley Powers, along with special guest, Jeremy Burmeister. How are we doing today?
All right, thank you. Thank you for having us, Jim, and welcome, Jeremy Burmeister. Jim Andre's a quantum healer and an alien abductee. I'm a mystic and a spiritual advisor. And how would you define yourself, Jeremy Burmeister? Jeremy, are you an alien
question? I would define myself as a Christian druid.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
You are you an alien contactee or alien abductee? Are you an alien contactee, alien abductee, or an experiencer?
Yes.
Rightio.
Hi, Vic. Vic is with us.
Oh, is he? Right, okay. Oh, cool. Blimey. Well done indeed. Vic is in the house. Let's get the forum up, the chat forum up.
All right, so we got some pictures that you want to go through right there, Jeremy. Do you want to start showing those, or want to tell us a little bit more about yourself before we begin? You want to
Sure. I'm going to take it back to the beginning. Sure. Started
What you got?
He's freezing up. Yeah, Jeremy's freezing up.
Less than 2 blocks from the 2072. And I now find myself here, 3,000 miles away, less than 2 blocks from the water, at exit 27. So this number 27 keeps coming up and up again. There were actually 27 bars in this town simultaneously operating, and Janis Joplin once played here in 27. Now, do you have that first image? Hear me, Jim?
Oh dear. Is this going to be one of those shows? Oh dear. The powers that be.
Keep freezing up there, Jeremy.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Absolutely. Yeah, we can hear you clearly.
Yeah, now we can.
I guess you can't hear. Okay. Okay. Do that again. Hear what I was explaining?
So what would you say is the significance of the number 27, Jeremy?
27. Well, we'll get back to that in a second. I'm wondering if you can bring up that first image, that first
All right, hold on.
wall piece for me, Jim.
All right, hold on.
Thanks. And so I'll go back to answer Bradley's earlier question. My mother was a Christian missionary. She was also a druid, and she took me to Stonehenge when I was 3 years old. And that's sort of where my journey, I guess, got a little interesting. And essentially, I was There we go. We'll agree to this light, right? Before we get here, with your spirit contract or the Akashic records or what have you. And then we, through going through the womb, through manifesting in these bodies, we lose our previous memories. And so going with that, this number 27 keeps coming. And I'll get back to that in a minute. I'm just looking now. The time is 5:05, my local time. So prior to this bill,
I think Jeremy's got a poor internet connection.
Yeah. Oh, dearie me. We're all right, but yeah, it's Jeremy.
Yeah, he's got a weak connection. I guess now his camera went off.
Oh, well, we can't. What are we looking at? Well, he knows what we're looking at.
Yeah, but we're not going to really know if he can't explain it. So
No, I know.
I guess he's gone out. He probably lost connection. See if he comes back in again.
Okay. I'm doing the introduction right now, and then I'm going to share some messenger. Shall I send Vic a link? Well, we have an announcement to make, don't we, Jim? Tomorrow is Jim Andre's birthday, and he will be 70. Whee! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm moving to different places in the house, but this started. I'm not sure. Maybe this was the problem that I experienced the other night when we were all online. I've got the little wheel of the internet spinning, so it seems like, yeah, you were right, Bradley. My internet connection isn't that good, but there's nothing that I can do about that. So, what should we do if it cuts out again? Do you want to continue on, or
Yeah,
try something
we'll break that. We'll ride it out. We will. If we lose, yeah, like me and Jim at like a talk, I reckon. Nicole Lowe is watching us. A shout out to Donny Randall, Brandon Vegas,
Can you
Candy
guys still
Farmer
hear?
are watching us.
Yeah, we can hear you, Jeremy.
Can you guys hear me at all?
Yep, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna just close this window. Can I moved to a different part of the house? So what you're looking at there is a sculpture that I made using the pieces of my Renaissance Festival booth. So you guys know what a Renaissance Festival is, right?
Enlighten us, because a lot of the people watching probably won't.
Okay, right. I forget we're talking to more people than just you guys. So Renaissance Festival goes back to the medieval and post-medieval times, and it's sort of a recreation. At least we have them here in America, and I'm sure they're all over the world by now. People dress up, and in medieval and Renaissance era garb. There's knights in armor jousting, pickles on a stick to eat, and so forth and so on. So you pay to get into this festival, and I was right away taken in when I applied.
You're frozen up again, Jeremy.
Wow.
Maybe if he stood still by his Wi-Fi, it would be better instead of him moving around.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You get closer to your router. Yeah, get me close to your router. Can you hear me, Jeremy?
Yeah, he just got bumped off again. I guess his connection is weak.
Yeah.
We're probably not going to be able to continue with him.
No, I don't think so. Well, it's not good, is it?
Welcome back.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, clearly.
I guess you can't hear me, or I can't hear you guys.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
I'm gonna jump over to Facebook and send Bradley a message. It doesn't look like this is gonna work. The story is so complex that if I keep losing the continuity of the internet, I'm not going to be able to keep it straight, and we're not going to be able to get anywhere. So I'll send Bradley a message now.
Okay. All right. Well, we could discuss my timeline, Jim.
Discuss what?
My timeline. That's got a lot of esoteric information on it.
Oh, go ahead.
Well,
discuss whatever you like to discuss.
Did Jesus experience a resurrection back to God, or did aliens and extraterrestrials reclaim him, or is Jesus Christ a myth? What do you think, Jim? Resurrected back to God.
You know, it goes by what each individual believes. You know, so all scenarios are probably the truth.
Yeah. All right, I'll go further than that then. Was Jesus Christ the Son of God, an Arcturian star seed, a Pleiadian star seed, or other?
Well, are we all not God's children? I mean, what if we're God's children? I'm sure Jesus was as well, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a very good point, actually. Our Unseen Realm show pulled in over 500 viewers so far, and that went out at Monday at midnight, and it's pretty 24 hours. We pulled in 500 viewers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty good. I got impressed with that. Cool, that post didn't do well at all.
That's better.
Yeah.
So we gotta wing it there, buddy.
As per usual. Would you mind if I rang Vic and see if he wants to send him a link? I know it's unprofessional.
That'd be fine if you want to get Vic on you.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'll do that right now.
Well, I guess, that's one way of ascension, right? Is to wing it. You need wings to ascend, right? Yeah, there you go.
Well, we're pretty good at winging it. Yeah, we're pros. To the rescue! We got backup. One of the team. We need your help. We're in trouble. Me and Jim's in trouble. We need your help. Ken, if I send you a link, can you follow the link and come into the studio and appear live on show right now? I know you haven't got your face on, but we don't care. We love you as you are.
Right.
Yeah, okay. I'll send you the link. Thank you, Vic. Thank you.
Right.
We can always count on Vic.
Yeah, we can always count on Vic. I can't. Can you end the call, Vic? I can't. My phone won't let me end the call. Oh dear, that was a joke. God, what's up with this phone? I'm so hateful, isn't it?
Well, one thing about this show, Bradley, at least we're real, right?
Yeah, we are real. Yeah, you can't deny that. We're real. I wish to apologise. It's Jim's birthday tomorrow and he's 70. Happy birthday to Jim. And I wish to apologise to all those watching about the technical issues that we're having with our guest. He cannot get a good internet connection. However, we're going to amend that. We're going to have Vic Makaroff in the house. And Vic Makaroff is full of esoteric information. And he is an experiencer. He's experienced loads of alien contactees. He's an alien contactee, yeah, absolutely.
Jeremy's back, but I don't know for how long.
It's
Yeah.
all right. Well, Vic can join us as well. Like, it's not a problem.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you clearly.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah. I've got the little wheel still spinning, and I think what we should probably do is reschedule this, and
Okay.
maybe I'll give.
Yeah. We can reschedule you on a future show, sure.
Yeah.
That's no problem.
What I'll do is I'll try to get someone with a better connection. I'm not really sure. There's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, because you want to get into detail and do a lot of explaining, so you're going to need a good connection to do that,
Yeah, exactly. Well, now we know. And I guess this is the problem that I was having the other night, perhaps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'll let you guys go, so I don't.
All right.
Hold you
All right.
up.
We'll see you on the next one. All right.
Thank you for trying, Joe.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Okay, Vic's just joined us.
I seen Vic here, but now he's gone. I was going to add him, and then he disappeared.
God.
Where'd you go, Vic?
Okay.
This is like playing phone tag.
Yeah, I know, isn't it? God, blimey. Good job this ain't Roku, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, dear. I got mobile in.
Here's Vic.
Oh, well done.
Hey, welcome aboard, Vic. I was just ready to bring you on, and you disappeared.
Yeah, I seen Jeremy, so I thought I'd go, but then I seen him come leave, so I came back.
Yeah, no, we want you, Vic. This is your moment, okay? Thank you for helping us and saving us as well. Me and Jim, we could have winged it and done the show, but having you on is great anyway. We like your company a lot. Yeah, we do. And it didn't work out with Jeremy Burmeister. He's got a bad internet connection, which you need to amend. So, but you haven't, and you are an experiencer, Vic. So, we got information to share.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Vic is very helpful in all the groups and all that. So,
yeah, he is. Yeah, he's
an asset to our madness.
Yeah. Well, Jim said when I go missing in action, if you wore a hat, you could come in and be me. That's what he said. Yeah. So, have you had any phenomenal experiences in the last few months?
I decided to shut down all my experiences in the astral, in the dream state. After 42 years of experiencing all sorts of phenomena, I decided to shut things down. I found that I plateaued in my meditation. I'm not interested in jumping back into my shadow to reformulate it. I'm happy with just keeping my clairvoyant skills and my abilities, and ongoing, and they're just becoming more of a, how do I put this? A facilitator, I guess, a helpful hand with the process of other people going through their situations and their journeys. I find that more rewarding now. I just got tired of all the manipulation, I guess you can call it, from entities. It's not that I wasn't ready. I was ready, but I was just finding that I was attracting things from the negative aspects of things. I was never really attracting anything positive. I could never understand that my aura is good, my functioning is good, my higher sense is good, and my vibrations are good, but I was just attracting this stuff. It was more that I was being attacked constantly.
Through it all, you've been rewarded by the fact that you can help others. So that's not so bad.
Yeah, I mean, I see that now. I find it rewarding. I watch and observe and listen to stories. Some I just find compelling. Some I must admit I find
Well, actually, some of them you're probably familiar with because you experienced it yourself.
I can relate. But because I've been through all forms, I guess, including demonic and extraterrestrial and alien and interdimensional, in both the astral, the physical, the translucent to physical reality, and also the what's the other state? Astral, the dream state, right? I can relate a lot. I can relate a lot. I do understand. It's not a matter of tooting one's horn. It's just a matter of accepting everyone's own experience as their own journey and just relating to it, just facilitating their process. Now, I've come out of it. I'm not plagued as much no more. I still have issues with what I call residual energy. I have the ability now. I took on a while ago what's called a light worker code. So the service of others, the help of ascension before myself, to facilitate everyone's own journey, other people's journeys. And within that, I just didn't want it to be a name. I want it to be actually a proactive sort of thing for me, this light worker code. So I was taught how to close portholes, lateways, doorways. I was told how to actually do a lot of shadow work. I fell into it a lot myself as well, by experience, walking through negative entities and negative densities and whatnot. I had to learn how to rebel. I found myself regaining my free will and my sovereignty, my human sovereignty. I found that more thrilling and more rewarding for myself than I did actually continue in contact with higher realms. I'm more of a for humanity.
Brandon Vegas is asking, what would you consider a light bearer?
Define light bearer. What do you mean by light bearer?
Why are you getting
know
this?
Something else. I might say there's something else or know there's something else. Hello, light bearer. What do you mean by light bearer?
Light worker.
Light worker. Light worker is someone here who is to help with the ascension of humanity, to progress the movement, the higher sense of humanity. A light worker is also how do you put it? Light worker. I see it as a facilitator for humanity. I don't try and change the world. I just try and change the corner of my world.
Right. Well, in other words, through your experiences, you're able to walk others through what they're going through and make them understand what they're experiencing.
Yeah, man, not to toot one's horn and not to gloat about it, but just to sort of help them along their process. It's a service of others before yourself.
Yes, agree with that.
I say it as a service to others before yourself. You put other people first before you put yourself. There's no need. I don't need to validate my situation anymore. A lot of what I call the mysticism with all this has disappeared. I just now see myself as a worker for the greater good of people and a facilitator and just helping other people along in their journeys. That's how I see it. I'm beyond trying to express or validate myself now. I don't see the need for it no more. I'm comfortable in my own skin and my own reality now.
Yes, and I'd like to refer to the forum. Yeah, a light bringer, a light bearer is actually Lucifer's a light bearer. Jesus Christ is a light bearer. Light workers help others without expecting a reward, which is exactly what you're doing, and I admire you for that.
Yeah,
And
man.
yeah, Jim is also a light worker, same as myself. And
Yeah, man.
yeah, Candy said light worker. Yeah, I'm just starting to get comments now. Actually,
Cool.
Richard says he agreed. He wondered if ley lines help magnify the effects. Brandon Vegas says energy direct contact. They are attracted to your aura, the light you bring. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. But I recently read an interesting article about a lady who claims to be a psychic with who deals with entity attachments, an entity specialist. Now, she worked in an aura, a positive aura, and good vibrations. Worked in that field, and for some reason, negative entities started to attack her. She couldn't understand why this psychic was being attacked when she was practicing all the good vibrations, all the positive aspects of her aura. She couldn't understand why. And it wasn't a matter of her attracting it was just a matter of them deciding to attack her because of the good work she was doing. It's not necessarily always to do about your aura, it's to do sometimes about the actual entities coming at you for their own nefarious activities, their own reasons. There's a great misunderstanding about this. You've got to actually, I find you've got to actually work it. You can't just do it by name. You have to actually be and practice it as well.
Yeah. Heather Catmoney says, hello, bearded gang. Hi there, Heather. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Candy Fowler, Richard M. Strichers, and Joe Pulaski, and Brandon Vegas, and Scott Hammonds. And Scott Hammond says, happy birthday, brother Jim. Infinite light, love, and blessings to you, Jim.
Oh, thank you,
birthday,
Scott.
Bud.
Thank you, Scott, and everybody else for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, birthday, man.
And Candy Fowler said the same epiphany comes to paranormal investigators after a while too. And Brandon Vegas says attached item she may have. Yeah. Yes, I find the more attracted to the light you are, the brighter you shine, the more you attract demonic entities. For some, it works.
Yeah, you've got to maintain your aura. The aura is most important, I've found. These things take chunks out of your aura, and the more chunks they take out of your aura, the more vulnerable you become to attacks. The more vulnerable. The maintaining of your own personal aura is most important, I find, in my journey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the trick is to be able to turn that negative energy into a positive.
Yeah, man, absolutely. It's I still live by this thing where I believe in more spirit and less ego. You will always remain and have an ego, but the less practice you use, the less ego you have, the better it is for you eventually. Wealth doesn't necessarily come from materialism. Wealth is something most likely comes from within, from yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Yeah, your wealth is your personal wealth.
If you're full of love, that's wealth. You don't need wealth is not necessarily material.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And then a lot of people are happy with a 9-to-5 sort of idea. They're going to jobs and building a career for themselves and an ego-based sort of environment. That's fine. I've found wealth to be a different sort of way of living. It's a personal belief for me. It's a personal wealth. It's what I attain from myself. It's my own beliefs, my own understandings. Yeah.
And you got Candy Fowler says happy solar return, Jimbo. Heavy Cash Money says happy birthday, Jim. So you're getting some birthday wishes coming through now.
Thank you everybody for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that.
Jim,
I'll
it's
be
a big
I'm regressing. I'm regressing, although I'll be 1 year younger tomorrow.
Vander Vega says, if auras are a colour of the rainbow, what does that mean? If your auras are a colour of the rainbow. Yeah, some people have colourful auras, some have white, some have blue. I believe mine are blue because I think I'm affiliated to the blue stone for some reason. But yeah, you need really a professional to answer that. Yeah, the colour of the aura.
Candace says full spectrum.
Full
Yeah,
spectrum, yeah.
The color of your aura depends on where you're at personally in your current journey. I think, from what I understand. So I've been told that sometimes when I speak to people, I
Solar
go,
rewind.
"Yeah, man, yeah, it's a matter of."
I'm laughing at Candace. I said I was going to be a year younger. I was regressive. She said, "Solar rewind."
It depends where you're at. Some people with what I've found with who use a lot of drugs, for instance, will glow a certain color. Other people who are more in line will glow a different color.
And what I've also learned is if you've got black, that's like a disease or a cancer within you.
Oh, no, I've seen different actually. I have seen different actually to that effect lately with the black aura. I have seen different. So with black auras.
Yeah, I suppose you could have a black aura. They can take your colour. There is a camera that can actually take photographs of a person and pick up the colour of their aura. And if you've got black here around the heart, it could be heart disease. Your black also could be hate, couldn't it? Really, as well. You know, if you're a hater, I suppose negative energy. Richard M. Stritcher says, I'm working on trying to read people's auras. Well, what do you make of this then, Richard? Colours of the aura. Andy Fowler says, aura is constantly changing. Depends on your physical body, etheric body, astral body, environment.
Absolutely.
Plus much more. Because we don't just have one spirit, one soul. We also have our ethereal spirit, which is within you. Your etheric spirit is to the side, and you've got your astral spirit that leaves you and goes on walkabout when you're asleep.
Yeah, it's like a moon ring.
Yeah, it depends where you're at the time of your journey, at your current moment. It's the colour of your aura, I find.
To describe all of your spirits, like your etheric, your ethereal, your astral spirits as well, I would use the term my psyche. My psyche covers all of me. Almost.
Agreed.
You know, that's what
agreed. I see that. I can relate to that.
According to Candy, she says black absorbs negative energy.
Yeah.
Again, I've seen differences to what actually black auras mean, but I'll accept that theory as well. That's fine. I have seen differences to what black auras mean and relate to. It not necessarily mean darkness or pain. It could mean other things as well.
Right.
Negative energy. Yeah. Richard M. Stritcher said, it's like a fuzzy outline, like a double outline with a shade, and feeling is what I have felt or seen. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Richard. Thank you for everyone for sharing the contributions to the show. It's a pleasure to have you near us. It's a pleasure to have Vic on board. We got the laughing Viking in the house.
Yeah, the Viking.
Yeah. Candy Fowler says, Vic, what other things does black mean? Please share.
I can. There's something I can share, but I don't know how to share. I have seen it. If you like, Candy, I can post it in a group where you're affiliated to, and you can see for yourself. I can do it at a later stage. I just don't know how to share it here at the moment. I'm sorry, but I have got a copy of it. Yeah, I can do it. Yeah, I can do that. That I can do. I've got a copy of it.
If you send it to me in Messenger, I can share it on the screen, Vic.
Hang on, how do I do this? So I'm not that tech savvy, you see.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, next time.
I'm not that tech savvy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can send you the app. Oh, sorry, man. I'm savvy, but not that tech savvy.
You're a Savaloy. Is that what you mean? Yeah.
Oh, good idea. Good idea.
I don't know why I think of the Savaloys. Yeah. Because you're savvy. Yeah.
Savvy. Savvy, but not that tech savvy.
No. Right. Yeah. No, I commend you and admire what you're doing. Yeah, you've changed your path. Because you have had a life, like you've had some unpleasant years. You've been attacked by negative energies as well, haven't you, Vic?
Yeah, man. Energies. I've had psychic attacks. I've had energy attacks. I've had physical translucent into physical reality attacks. I've had demons attack me, follow me. I've been what you describe it sometimes as a voice hearer. I've been a voice hearer since a young age. I've heard voices externally from the head. So, like, I'll be sitting in the next bedroom, I'd hear people talking. And you wouldn't be able to hear what they're talking. It's more muffled, but you'd hear them actually talking. But it's muffled.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually hear if I'll go through the bush or forest and look around and there's nothing around, but there's something talking. Yeah. I've had actually things pull me up. Yeah. And I look around and everyone's just oblivious. I hear this. I've had this skill since a kid. For a long time, I accepted it, but about 8 years ago, I actually flipped out one day. And the neighbours called the coppers because they were worried about me because I was freaking out at what was going on in my house. So when they called the coppers came, and before the coppers came, I seen a 7.5 foot person or thing in blue overalls with a big beard standing underneath the manhole. That's the access from the ceiling to the roof cavity here in Oz. That's what we call the manholes. And I'm standing under and watching him under the manhole. I'm hearing voices. I'm seeing translucent entities everywhere. I'm seeing what Nordics, Pleiadians, or even maybe Alpha Centaurians outside everywhere. Alpha Centaurians have the same representation as a Nordic or a Pleiadian. And I'm watching this, and I see this figure, and then the coppers walk down the footpath. And I go, this is going to be interesting. When I look around, this entity's gone from underneath the manhole, and he's standing outside my front door, outside the front screen door. So this was going to be interesting. When the coppers have walked past, the copper must have been 6.5 foot. And he's looked up at this thing and said, what are you doing here? He said, neighbour. I thought, my God, this thing speaks. How the hell did this entity from inside the house come out through the screen door and then stand on the footpath? And then respond to the copper who walked past him and asked him what he was doing here.
Richard is asking, so does your aura come from chakra points or the heart, which is your own personal field generator?
Aura, from my understanding, comes from where you're at the time, or where you're at in your own journey. And it also can be, like Candy said, it can influence also. It can also influence what you're doing, your aura. So if you're smoking drugs or using drugs, it'll be a different color aura.
Right. Candace is asking, was there a vortex around there?
Around where? My house?
I guess where you experienced what you were just talking about.
Yeah. I was dealing with I came across what I call I came across this fellow, and every time I come across this fellow, he smelled like sulfur. The strange of this bloke was every time I was around this bloke, he smelled like sulfur, like a demonic presence or a reptilian presence. I could never understand. And then the representation of this fellow was in the translucent form in my house. Came into physical reality. Right? So what I decided was actually I bumped across what some would refer to as aliens in our presence. There's no other explanation for my mind. There was no explanation. I couldn't understand how I would get a representation in a translucent form in my house after I'd be sensing this sulfur, right, a smell around him. He would follow me everywhere. It was a very narcissistic mentality. It was an entity attachment and nefarious groups harassing me. A form of gang stalking, if you must.
Yeah.
It was crazy stuff, man. It was really weird stuff. I had to break attachments.
Richard said there was a guy I worked with who had a smell to him. He was the only one that had that smell, and I asked him about it, and he looked at me like I was a weirdo.
Yeah, man. So sulfur is usually a demon attachment, and it's also a reptilian attachment. Reptilians also give off a sulfur smell.
I've been in for over 20 years. In my case, the voices they talk directly to me. That's what happens in my case. In your case, it's different though, isn't it? Because like I can hear inside or outside. I can hear, but whereas your voices are all over the place, aren't they? And like they can be having conversations. I haven't heard that. There's a reason actually. I have heard that actually. Come to think about it, people having a conversation with each other. But I recognise that I was being duped to thinking that was going on when it wasn't. I wasn't delusional. The voices wanted me to make me think I was delusional when I wasn't. But like that was like 20 years ago. This voice is this one of different.
It's a form, I think, of psychological warfare. It's completely to set you up and wig you out mentally. It's completely to make you dysfunctional, irrational. And then they put you in this place where you feel isolated, completely isolated, and you have nothing to bounce off or people to help you with. It's a complete isolation. It's a complete wig out. It's a complete mind melt. It's psychological warfare. There's nothing else to it.
Well done. That's exactly what it is. It's psychological warfare. Some people are actually, they're not all extraterrestrial or spiritual entities. Some are actually some living people, similar to Jim, but not. Jim's been blessed with paranormal. Jim's been blessed with quantum physics, and he could do the most amazing of things. Can you imagine being a narcissist being blessed with quantum physics? Just think of these things that have going around destroying people's lives.
It's all about
That'd
intent.
be absolute madness.
It all comes down to intent.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I've come across creatures, and I'm going to put it this way: creatures, and no disrespect intended. I couldn't fathom. I couldn't explain. I couldn't fathom what the hell they were. The mind would not comprehend. I would see this, but I could not comprehend. And the simplest way I could put down, I never got the feel that it was an alien. I always got the feel that it was like more of an elemental aspect, a more human-based aspect. That's the only way I could explain it and define it and move on. That there is things here that are earth-based, which will actually affect you and attack you more than aliens. A lot of the stuff that comes to a lot of people here is actually earth-based, I find.
Yeah.
And you've got to be careful. You've always got to question everything. They come and they have shape-shifting abilities, and they come and they represent themselves in any which way they think is more applicable to you. Always question everything. Always question everything.
Candy Fowler says something like golems or egregores created by demonic forces. When you say egregores, I wonder if you're referring to the Grigori watchers. I wonder if that's what you mean, or tulpas as well. But you've also, I understand where you're coming from. And you've also got Ilfrits and Shaitans. They're Jinn. They're from the earth as well. They could be good or bad. I've never met a good one yet, but like Ilfrits or Shaitans can be good, although I've met bad ones, unfortunately. And I didn't even know they existed till I met them. And Archons are the worst, but they're not. They are not. They didn't used to live here. They're like multi-dimensionally Archons, and they despise mankind. And they like to install sorrow, despair, pain and anguish, misery, depression into your mind. And if you're feeling like that and it becomes a way of life, eventually you'll lead to suicide. And what do they get out of it? The death energy of you dying when you commit suicide. And suicide is not the answer, because I believe you will go to purgatory. because I've encountered spirits in purgatory. That's why I believe it, you know. And like purgatory, you're not safe there either. Richard says, I have had pretty bad experiences with spirit. You know, I can only say, yeah. Well, like, yeah, it's good and bad in all. Candy Fowler says it's kind of hard to go up against an archonic force. Yeah, it is. I had to get a druid priest to remove the archon from me. And he said to me, the archon has been removed from me. However, he's still standing there watching over me.
What's this? Maybe some aliens or reptilians can cloak themselves.
Mary King says maybe some aliens or reptilians can cloak themselves. Me and my husband were supposed to be alone, and we heard the floor creak, and someone made a noise like they didn't mean to make the noise. So this story could be true.
And I'll validate what Marion's saying is yes, some aliens, reptilians, yes, they got a cloaking device which makes them invisible to the human eye, and then you've got reptilian shapeshifters as well. In fact, many species of shapeshifters. However, the cloaking device is quite a cool favourite for disguising themselves from the eyes of mankind.
The people that also understand when it comes to reptilians, there's many forms of them. I've actually experienced two types. I've experienced ones where they're more alien-based and ones which are more human-looking but with a reptilian head. There are different types of reptilians, but, you know, they say there's good and all. I haven't seen it with reptilians. I can't say that. I've never experienced a good reptilian so far. Unfortunately. I think they got no empathy for humanity at all. I think they're just bath blood.
Yeah, that's good and bad in all. Although I haven't heard anything good about the reptilians, but I do know that they exist because people have told me. The Archons, I've never heard anything good about them, and I've never heard anything good about them. In fact, when I got an Archon attached to me, I actually was asking myself, is there a God? Is there a God? Because why on earth would you create such a monstrosity as an Archon that he gets pleasure, despises mankind, and gets pleasure from creating misery, leading you on a path to suicide? I mean, why would God create such a beast like that? And no one really knows what the Archons look like anyway, to be honest. It's possible that they're the bad dragons. I don't know, though. That's a theory.
Yeah, and I haven't seen much about Archons. I know of them, but I haven't seen much lately about the Archons. So I tend not to go into that subject much.
Richard says he describes his experience was like they were trying to rip his soul out of his body. Yes, that's right. Push your soul out of the body, and it's possible as well to remove your soul from your body. If they enter your body won't die. You can carry on living with another soul in it. You know, you know, the original person who owns the body actually can get pushed out of the body. That's very feasible. That's not. It may sound crazy and beyond human comprehension, but it does actually happen. Candy says yes. There's several types of reptilians. Yes, several types. There's several types of greys as well, isn't there? I believe.
Yeah.
Richard says.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. Richard says left the red handprint on his leg. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, a lot of people get scratches too.
Yeah. Jim's son showed me evidence of photographs of being scratched by a succubus, actually.
You and your succubus, Bradley, I must admit.
Yeah. And I know.
Bradley likes them succubuses.
Yeah, if I lay here, maybe something will happen. Come to me, succubus. I'm laying down. This is live, by the way. Oh, put your tongue out my ear.
No wonder he's always laying down,
Yeah, like that.
It's always laying down on the job,
I don't need to watch porn. I got incubuses and all that, you know. Wow. Yeah. I can wreck your life, you know. It's a blessing, like for me anyway. You know, I think it's because I'm charming that I attract incubuses. I don't know. I better get up just in case I get raped by one. Actually, Richard says it talked to and in his dream it was like the colour black in the form of a sledgehammer on each syllable. Wow, sorry to hear that. Yeah. Yeah, like you got your good, incubuses and succubuses can wreck your life, or they could enhance you sexually as well and make you feel loved and wanted. Yeah. When your co-host rejects you, you still got incubuses and succubuses to turn to. Do you know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. But it's all out there and it's all real. I can validate. I'm of sound body and mind, and like, yes, I've experienced this incubuses on 3 separate occasions, and they are real. My sister-in-law was standing at a chapel. I had a chamber with a gigantic mirror, and she said, "Oh, my back's really sore." So I lift up the top, and her back has 6 really deep scratches on her back. You know, you can see the blood congealing on the back. She got scratched 6 times. I mean, like, what's that all about? It just goes to show you, some spiritual entities can actually physically harm you or embrace you in this realm. Yeah, they can.
Now you said, Bradley, that you had 3 experiences with the incubuses, right? Which one?
Yeah.
Which one do you recall as being the most profound?
Oh, I don't. Oh. Careful, I'm getting feelings down below for thinking about it. I've had a throbbing erect phallus wake me up, rubbing on the inside of my thigh. You know what I mean? I was like, what the friggin' hell? Like, that soon woke me up. Well, where'd that come from? It's belonged to someone. A throbbing erect phallus.
Yeah, the first thing he said to himself was, "Where did that come from? It can't be mine."
You know what? I think yeah. I was thinking, like, I didn't know. I could see, like, I was getting a throbbing erect phallus, but the incubus looked like it was a guy, but it could have been passed as a girl because it had really long hair. You know, I couldn't tell it was a girl or a boy. I thought you could be transgender for all I know. I don't know.
Right. I was just going to say that it was probably transgender there. Yeah, you
yeah,
had the
probably.
best of both worlds at one time.
But the classic one was when I got a tongue in my ear and I thought it was a demon and I started strangling it and it turned out it was an incubus. It come to make love to me and I spoiled that moment, didn't I? And I let it go and apologise and I'm really sorry, like, and I, you know, and like he said, make love, not war. Then it showed me like 4 of its mates embracing on my settee, and then it had a featureless face. It had no eyes, no nose, no mouth, and he could shapeshift it into any person that I wished. I desired, but like, I killed the moment, didn't I? You know? Wow. Yeah. Oh dear. Tongue in my ear.
No face and no mouth. No face and no mouth, but he had offices.
No eyes. No. Yeah, that's right. I don't like, you know. He didn't have a mouth, so I thought we can have a bit of a problem there, haven't we? No, I'm not joking.
Too much.
Yeah, like, yeah. Well. And I didn't perform any rituals or nothing. So, like, I don't know why I attracted them. I really don't, you know?
You're an incubus magnet.
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Some guys are chick magnets. You're an incubus magnet.
Yeah, I am an incubus magnet. And they were all male as well. I mean, what made me speak that? You know? Yeah, like, you'd have thought I'd got a succubus, wouldn't I? But no. Yeah, incubuses, man. I've never met a succubus yet. I know Lilith, the goddess of hell, is a succubus. Vampires are incubuses and succubuses too. So is Lucifer an incubus or a succubus? No, he's an incubus, isn't he?
Candy says, "Lord help us," and then she goes on to say, "You're too sexy for your hat."
Yeah, yeah, I know. I wasn't on drugs. I wasn't drinking. Nothing. Like, I was like, I know what. With my eyes, I saw what I saw. I know what I saw. Wow. But I felt them as well. Like, actually felt them. You know. Wow. A random. Like, talk about no strings fun. You know, an erect phallus rubbing against it on the thigh. Like, that's no strings fun, isn't it? I didn't even give it permission. You know. You took me by surprise. I thought, what are you going to do with that thing then? You know, I
Well,
wasn't ready.
it must have
I
seen you
didn't
as
have my face on or anything.
it must have seen you as being vulnerable.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, I probably am a vulnerable adult. Probably. Yeah, I didn't mind playing vulnerable. You know what I mean? Oh dear. Yeah. Thank you for that, Candy. I'm too sexy for my hat.
That just might be the true meaning of a wet dream, no?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. They just come and help themselves to me. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm used. You know. I feel like I'm being used. Yeah. But like, you know, like that was a while ago. Like I haven't had one since. Like, you know, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Sounded right about that.
Oh. Anyway, thanks for coming to save the show, Vic. Yeah. Well,
Thanks,
me and Dick would have rolled along, you know. But like, yeah, that's right. Candy Fowler says there's an old saying: you can't rape the willing. Yeah. I wanted to shout rape, but I just couldn't get it out because I was enjoying it, you know. Yeah, basically.
No, I think Bradley just likes playing hard to get sometimes.
I did, yeah. Or hard to want. I don't know what one it is. It's one or the other. But it was. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's like come back. Yeah, but like, you know, yeah, it weren't long enough. That's what I was. Well, not when I went. It's not. I didn't read my phallus, right? You know, it weren't long enough. I mean, was the.
So what are you trying to say? They just teased you?
Yeah. Like the word prick teaser come to mind. You know what I mean? I'll be honest. Yeah, I better curb my language, and I really. Cool, I'm taking the standard tonight, and we. Oh, but yeah, incubuses and succubuses are very real. They do exist. You can actually form a relationship with one, or you can have an open relationship. But if you form a relationship, you mustn't cheat on an incubus or a succubus because you'll regret it. You'll be the loser. So you got to play ball, you know what I mean, or play with your balls. No, you got to play ball, isn't it? You got to play with something.
Bradley is a hot mess.
Yeah, I know. I worked afterwards. Yeah. Oh dear. They were the days. You know. Oh. Brandon Vega. Oh, what's he say? Candy says polyamorous. Is what's that? Polyamorous. God, I have to Google that. Called Candy.
What is that?
Brandon says this great awakening, 23rd. What you think, Vic? S9. What do you think, Vic?
Not much. I'll play it by ear. Not much. I've heard about it, and not much really. No. You hear a lot of stuff, and I just leave it at that.
Oh, multiple partners. Oh, thank you, Rick.
Andy says she's dying. Andy says she's dying over there.
Yeah, I know. True story, Candy. Seriously. Well, all my experiences are true story. Richard has multiple partners, so that's what
Mormons.
You know, I thought partners, like, at least get to know me first, like, instead of just help yourself, you know.
So what do you think?
It's not like I'm begging for it, you know.
Do you think orgies are in order, or
what was that? Sorry.
Do they agree to orgies, or is that?
Oh, the one that stuck his tongue in his my ear. He had an orgy set up. There was 4 of his mates. They were embracing each other on the settee. It was like, yeah, come on, let's have an orgy. You know.
See, technically, he didn't really need you.
No, he didn't really. No, like I don't know what they needed me for. I don't know if they wanted me for the top or the bottom. I got confused. I did. I don't know how they work it, do I?
There's only one way to find out.
Yeah, Richard didn't even offer tea or coffee. No, I didn't know. I was gobsmacked. I was speechless. I was left without words. I really was. Yeah. Anyway, like, so we're ending on a high anyway.
Yeah.
But
We're at the top of the hour. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Vic, for saving the show. And thank you for doing the show, Jim. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I'd like to thank everybody for all the birthday wishes and interacting with us tonight.
Yeah, man. Happy birthday, bud.
Thank you. All right.
And I'd like to apologise for the rough start. We had a bad feed internet connection with Jeremy Burmeister, our guest, who had some amazing, some phenomenal experiences to share, esoteric information to share. Another time you'll get to hear it. Okay, so just I will keep you in suspense on that one. Mary King says, "Happy birthday, Jim Andre." Thank you, Mary King.
Yeah, thank you, Marion.
Thank you, everybody, for contributing to this show, supporting this show. And until next time, thank you.
Yeah, see you all in the next one.